When it comes to buying a little piece of land and building a house, it's a lot of fun. However, there can be countless mistakes. Believe you me, I've been there and done that. I'm excited to share with you my years of experience. If you're new here, my name's Wayne Turner. For nearly 30 years, I've bought, flipped, built, sold thousands of houses and helped a lot of people. And I'm excited to share with you the many mistakes not only that I've made, but others have made. Some of these you're gonna like, some of them you're gonna dislike. Irregardless, grab a pen, piece of paper. You're gonna wanna take notes. So let's begin with the outside. Driveways, ped doors, porches, and garages. When you look at driveways, you have to ask yourself, do you want a concrete drive or are you okay with a gravel drive? If you got a concrete drive, it's gonna be a little bit nicer, easier to wash your car, your vehicle's gonna be less dirty. However, it does cost money, but you have to consider this. When you put in a concrete drive, you can factor that into your payment. So it's important to know, okay, what is it gonna cost me for a concrete drive? Is it going to be $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000? And that financed over 15 or 30 years, amortized in your mortgage, what is that going to cost you on a monthly basis? You may be surprised. Personally, I built my first home, and when I built my first home, I put a concrete drive in, and it increased my payment just $13 a month. So the driveway leads into the garage, and that's why I always say put a side entry garage door. No one really cares to look at the front of a house and see a garage door. Unfortunately, you see a lot of tract-built homes built that way because simply the developer who develops the land doesn't build the lot wide enough to put a house big enough with a side entry garage, because you got to have space for turnaround and driveways. Me personally, it's kind of my pet peeve. Perhaps it's yours. If so, leave a comment or a thumbs up. I like a side entry garage. So when you're going to build a house, consider that. Not only a side entry garage, but you have to look at doing a pedestrian door. A ped door is an additional door. It's basically just like a front door or a back door. It's a standard door that you walk in and out of. The good news is when you have a door like that on the side of your house, you don't have to consistently raise and close your garage door. You actually have a door that you can walk in and out of. Now, one of my favorite features, really two of my favorite features on a home, is a covered front porch and a covered back porch. One, it just feels inviting on the front of the house. On the back of the house, it's very peaceful and relaxing. Coffee in the morning, nice glass of wine. And one thing you can do on the back of your house with a covered back porch is consider doing a fireplace. It will cost you a little bit extra, but you'll get a lot more enjoyment through the months, even the colder months, out of an outside fireplace on that covered back porch. I hope you're liking this video and it's giving you good information. If so, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. My goal is to teach everyone something new on every single video. One of the things that's kind of a pet peeve of mine is driveways that adjoin. Have you ever seen that, where a house has a driveway and literally 5 feet away from that driveway, there's the neighbor's driveway? And so you can have a side entry garage. The front of the house looks aesthetically appealing. You both have side entry garages, but hell, you face each other. You sneeze and this one says bless you. You fart and this one says excuse me. It's like, for the love of God, builders, if you're listening, home builders, just flip the plan. Just make sure that the driveways don't adjoin. You can always do it. You can start a row of houses on one street, and if all the driveways are on one side, just make sure they're all on one side. For the life of me, I don't know why. I've seen builders do it. I've seen home builders do it. I've seen people buy land and do it. But if you're going to build a home, make sure that your driveway is not 5 feet off your neighbor's driveway. Flip the floor plan so your driveway is on the opposite side of the neighbor's. That way you can have a little bit of privacy. Give me a thumbs up. I know you like that one. Now, when it comes to the inside, the popular thing is to have these huge open floor plans. However, there is a bit of a limitation when it comes to the ceiling. Most people don't like ceilings over about 14 feet high. For one, it leads to an echo in the room. Two, it's not as cozy. And three, it's going to cost you more in your utility bills. And when it comes to kitchens, you always want to put a walk-in pantry whenever possible. And listen, it doesn't matter if it's a 1,400 square foot house, you can still put a walk-in pantry in the kitchen. And if you're going to do a kitchen, consider not doing a galley kitchen. A galley kitchen is where you basically can stretch your arms and touch the cabinets and the countertops on each side of the kitchen. That is a least favorite kitchen among people buying any home. When it comes to something as simple as a foyer, people like a little bit of a foyer in their house. They're not a big fan of actually opening up that front door and feeling like you're right in the living room. So having some kind of partition wall, if you will, to the left or to the right to make it feel a little bit more cozy, almost like a room, if you will. Now, when it comes to utility rooms are a big, big must. You have to make sure that you've got a utility room that is the very minimum 8 by 8. not these small utility rooms. That's a big complaint that I've heard over the years, and I too have experienced firsthand to buying houses, building houses, moving into a home, and I wish I'd had not put a small utility room in the house. The next feature on the inside of the house is bathrooms. I always suggest people to do double vanities in the main bathroom and do what they call a 5-piece bath in the main bathroom. That way you have double vanities, a water closet where the commode is, you have a stand-up shower, plus you have a garden tub. That way there's plenty of space within that room. You also want to put in a walk-in closet and a linen closet. That's a big plus. Now when it comes to guest baths, even then you want to do double vanities, and if you can, try to avoid doing the California or the Jack and Jill style baths, because there you get a lot of doorways. You got one door from one room, one door from another, you got water closets, you got shower, you got linen closets, and all those doors tend to get a little bit uncomfortable. And if you want to get uncomfortable in the wintertime, put in a ventless fireplace. I personally don't like them. A ventless fireplace is it doesn't have a flue. There's no chimney. So what happens is you put gas logs in. You cannot burn wood. So you have to have gas logs. So you're limited to one, you're limited to gas logs. Two, the heat comes all out into the room. Now you may be one of those that say, oh, I love that, that's great. I live up north and I want that. That's wonderful. But if you're down south like myself, I prefer a little bit of wood and I want a chimney, because with a chimney, I have the option to do both. Not only can I do gas, but I can also burn wood. And if they're going to vent the fireplace, have them vent the hood over your cooktop stove. That way when you cook, it actually vents out. If you're like me, when I cook, I want the odor to go outside the house. People don't care for the microwaves over the stoves anymore. With a little vent that turns on, it does nothing but circulate it in the air. And if you're going to build or even remodel a kitchen, always consider putting under cabinet lighting. It's not that expensive to have the contractor, have an electrician to run the wires through the wall, and then you can have lights underneath your cabinets connected to a switch. That is absolutely money. Now look, when you go to your builder, just tell them that Wayne Turner said to do it this way. That way they don't get mad at you, they'll get mad at me. I've been there and done that. And I can tell you one of the things that you'll want to do is simply on the outside of your house around your front porch, put 2 electrical receptacles. I don't know why in the hell builders do not put 2 electrical receptacles. They'll put 1 electrical receptacle. And you have to understand that Christmas lights and anything on the outside of the house, it's just nice to have electrical receptacle on one side and electrical receptacle on the other. So here's what you do. You walk around the house, you ask the contractor, is it okay before the electricity comes in, after it's framed, before the insulation is even done, you can walk around with a Sharpie and mark where you want electrical receptacles and make sure that they put floodlights, because you want to make sure you can flip a switch and actually have lights on the outside of your house, as well as electrical receptacles under windows. Something that is super, super cheap when it comes to building any house, and you can do it before you build, because you can't do it after you build unless you're going to make a huge mess and cost you a lot of money. So I want you to listen and I want you to see. I'm going to walk into this room and you can hear the way I'm talking now. See how it sounds different? It's called insulation. That insulation is so inexpensive, and this is what you'll want to do. You'll want to insulate around your garage, which helps keeps it cool, helps keeps it warm. You also want to insulate around your utility rooms. When you insulate around your utility rooms, you don't have to hear your washer and your dryer. If you have any children, any kids, people do not understand. These walls are insulated, and most of the time they only insulate. They're only required by codes to insulate exterior walls. And so when you have the interior walls insulated, not only are you going to save on your utility bills, it's just going to be a whole lot quieter than if it's not insulated. Another feature on a home that will absolutely not only dress it up, but it just makes it look fantastic, is a cathedral ceiling. That's when it looks like a church steeple on the inside of the house, and you do exposed beams. You can also do vaulted ceilings. That's more on the contemporary style, and that kind of went out years ago. That was really popular in the 70s. You can also do just very high ceilings, and with higher ceilings, you can do what they call coffered ceilings. That's where it kind of looks like a tic-tac-toe board. But when in doubt, you can add just a little bit of wood, a little bit of solid wood beam accent to any ceiling, and it just dresses it up and makes it pop. And when you do anything on the ceiling, your eyes go up to the ceiling, and it makes the room feel that much larger. And of course, with large ceilings comes large price tags, because you can get really carried away and crazy when it comes to building the house. Central vacs, lighting, you name it. But at the end of the day, I always tell people, be patient, because it can be one of the most stressful things that you can go through is building a house. But the reason why it can be really stressful is because you're looking at the timeline and you're not too sure when it comes to adding paint, flooring, walls, all of that. Your contractor is going to typically give you a list. If they don't give you a list, I can advise you to make a list. Go room by room. What are the floors, the ceilings, the walls, the light fixtures, the plumbing, the countertops, you name it. Doorknobs, hinges, windows, everything that you're going to put in the house. Make a list, go room by room, because when you have a list and go room by room and you can say, hey, I've done everything, it's already checked off, down to the landscaping, the driveway, the type of concrete, you're going to go smooth, going to do aggregate, it does not matter. Hope you like this video. Give us a thumbs up, leave me your comment, let me know what you like most about building a house, what you like least. That helps others, and until next time, God bless.